Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this short yin yoga practice. It's kind of a bit of yin and a bit of acupressure for winter time. I am wearing my appropriate winter colors with my snowflakes on. It's actually snowing outside as I record this video today. So we are going to start with just a little bit of stimulating the yin meridian for winter, which is the kidney meridian. I've got two pieces of equipment, a little block and a little bolster. And you could use a chair instead of a bolster here if you wanted to. So the kidney meridian goes from the center of the ball of the foot up the inside of the leg, around the ankle a little bit, inside of the leg, then passes to the outside of the back of the knee, and then up the outside of the leg. And then it comes up the front of the body and finishes here at the space just underneath the collarbones at the top of the chest on either side. So today we're going to focus a little bit on the bit that happens in the low part of the body. So I'm actually going to sit in something called deer pose. And I'm going to start with my right foot forward. And you can do deer pose in lots of different ways. So you don't need to be exactly the same shape as me. And if you wish to, you can sit up on a block, which will give your hips a little bit more movement or room to move. But we want access to this foot at the front, particularly on the ball of the foot. So with deer pose, I've got my right knee in front of me with the right foot crossed over towards the left hip, and then the left knee out to the left side with the left foot back behind me. I'm going to take my foot and just find the point on the ball of the foot where it's the center, where it reaches the instep. So it's not the ball of the foot itself, which is quite a firm pad, but it is the bottom of that area right in the center where it reaches the softer part of the foot, the instep that would be away from the floor, or the underneath of the foot. And I'm using my thumbs to stimulate that area, just giving it a gentle activation. As you explore around that area, you might find one spot that just feels a little bit more tender than the spots around it, almost as if you had a little point of a bruise. And that's what we're after finding. If you can't find that sensation, if you can't find that slightly more tender spot, simply use your thumbs to massage the whole area of the ball of the foot in the center where it meets the underneath of the foot, the instep. Wonderful stuff. We don't need to do much, we're just a little bit active here. And then we're going to take our hands and massage across the inside of the foot like a little kneading. And then come to the ankle, and we're massaging around the ankle as well. That inside ankle bone. And then we're going to take two fingers and place them on top of the ankle bone. So we've got 2 fingers length up from the ankle bone. And we're going to find the bone that runs up the inside of the leg here, the back side of that. So the side that's closest to the heel. And just there, we should find another of those slightly tender spots that we can massage with our thumbs. And it's just really just tucked in behind that bone on the heel side of the leg. And give that another nice little stimulation. And we can continue to knead up the inside of the leg towards the knee. And from that point that we've just found, kneading up the inside of the leg towards the knee. And then we're going to start from the foot from the ball of the foot, again, just finding that little point, and then kneading up the inside of the foot towards the ankle, giving the ankle bone a little kneading, and then up the leg, just finding that second little point of tenderness and kneading up the inside of the leg towards the knee. And we'll do that one more time, massaging the sole of the foot, just where we find that point, kneading up the inside of the foot towards the ankle, from the ankle towards that extra tender point, and then up the inside of the leg towards the knee. And then we're going to take our hands and sweep the palms of the hands against the sole of the foot, and then up the inside of the leg towards the knee. Super. And then from here, we're gently going to lean back a little bit and just allow our knees to sway from side to side. Oh, should feel really nice on the hips. And then we'll find the other side. So deer pose is one of the great poses for our kidney meridian. So just sitting in this pose to do this practice is really useful. But you could do this practice with both feet at the same time by sitting in cobbler pose, if you like. Soles of the feet together. So we're moving now to the opposite foot, and we're trying to find that first point, just where the ball of the foot meets the instep, right in the center. On my foot, I've got a little pad underneath the big toe where the ball of the foot is slightly separated from the pad of the ball of the foot that's underneath the other 4 toes. And my point of tenderness is just where that join is, right underneath the ball of the foot, where it joins the rest of the foot. And actually, the other foot was much more the feeling was much more intense than it is on this foot. It's a bit more dull on this foot. If you can't find it, simply massaging around the general area. And you'll either come across it or you'll develop the awareness, or it might just be a day when it's feeling dull, and on another day it might feel more feely, if that is indeed a word. Then we're going to massage up the inside of the foot towards the ankle and massage around the ankle. And we can do that a few times, just kneading up the inside of the foot towards the ankle bone, massaging around the ankle bone. And it doesn't really matter what you do here. Feel free to move quite intuitively. There's no real right or wrong. We're only doing a little bit of it. So then we can take 2 fingers to the space just above that inside ankle bone, 2 finger widths, and then we're finding the bone that runs up the inside of the leg and the bit behind that bone, just on the heel or Achilles side of that bone. We're still touching the bone, but it's just tucked in behind there. It's just another spot that feels deliciously intense as we stimulate it. I like the feeling of this one a little bit better than the one on the ball of the foot, but I can feel the one on the ball of my foot as I stimulate this one as well. It's very interesting how the body is all joined together. So here we're just giving it, we're not trying to do anything too intense or feely, just enough to feel that we're doing something. We've got that awareness. And then we can continue to massage and knead up the inside of the leg towards the knee. We can do that a few times. And then when we've done this a few times, we can come back to the ball of the foot and start at the ball of the foot and then massage up the inside of the foot to the ankle and then massage up the inside of the leg, finding that extra spot of stimulation towards the knee. And then we can do that again. Lovely stuff. Maybe one more time. It's lovely to give our feet a little bit of care and attention, and you can use your favorite foot lotion to do this if you'd like to as well. And then sweeping the hands across the sole of the foot, and then sweeping over the ankle and up towards the knee. And we can do that a few times as well. Again, just being guided. Doesn't need to be exactly what you did on the other side. It can just be what feels right in this moment for this side of the body. And then when you have done that, you can again lean back a little, just allowing the heels to find the floor and doing a little gentle sway of the knees from side to side. Easing out of the posture we've been sitting in, but also stimulating those meridians through the legs, opening the chest a little bit to allow the flow of energy up the front of the body as well. When you're ready, you can gather yourself into a seated position and perhaps have your bolster ready. I'm going to sit myself up on a block as well because I want to be really comfortable. I don't need to be super comfortable, but I want to be comfortable enough to hold this posture for a little while. So I'm going to have my legs slightly wider apart than they would normally be if they're just hip width apart. So a little bit open. You can have them more open if you choose. And then I want to take this bolster and rest my chest on it. So I want to have it pressed into that point just underneath the collarbones, so that I can lean slightly forward. Maybe my chin can also find the bolster. I'm just holding it towards me a little bit, finding a slight curve through the front of the back of the body rather. Nice and relaxed here in the feet. I don't need to have my toes pointing up towards the ceiling and flexed heels. Just nice and relaxed. You can even put something underneath the knees to keep them a little soft. And then I'm going to hold for about 5 long, deep breaths. Closing the eyes, finding some softness and stillness. As you breathe, you might feel a gentle sense of contact across the chest with the bolster in front of the body. You might also feel a sense of the low ribs moving, a gentle stimulation of the area where the kidneys actually are underneath the bottom of the low ribs at the back of the body. And if you'd like to, you can hold here for longer, feeling those parts of the body that we've stimulated, a sense of energy, a sense of perhaps awakeness or aliveness through the feet, the inner legs. Whenever you feel ready, just preparing to move, using your bolster to gently prop yourself a little bit higher up. You can allow the bolster to rest wherever is comfortable. For those who would like to do a little bit more in this practice, you can find yourself forward folded over the bolster if that's supportive for your body. But that's not something that we have to do or even should aim to do. But if you enjoy that, then you can allow yourself that opportunity just to come a little bit closer to the floor. Now we've finished our practice, you can have a few moments of relaxation, perhaps just lying still, perhaps putting your legs up the wall if you'd like to. But I hope you've enjoyed this miniature exploration of just 2 yin poses and some nice acupressure for our kidney meridian to celebrate winter. I look forward to practicing with you again. Namaste.